The most expensive item in your entire kitchen is eating up 40% of your kitchen remodeling budget. It is also the one thing the cabinet industry, the big box stores, and your builder are all counting on you knowing absolutely nothing about. What if I told you that the people who actually build kitchens for a living, the installers, the cabinet shop veterans, the designers who've torn out more failed cabinets than you've ever seen, they know exactly which brands are burning homeowners alive and which ones are quietly delivering twice the quality at half the price? And they've been saying it for years. Nobody listens because the marketing is louder than the truth. Here's what most people miss. Cabinetry is the single largest line item in almost every kitchen remodel in America. We're talking $16,000 to $22,000 on average for a mid-range kitchen, and right now, with 25% tariffs sitting on imported cabinets through at least the start of 2027, the pressure to cut corners has never been higher, and the brands doing the cutting are counting on your ignorance. By the end of this list, you'll know exactly which 5 brands have been scamming homeowners, and I'll hand you 3 brands worth every single penny, including one at number 1 that has been quietly outperforming brands costing 2 to 3 times more. And you'll also hear about a luxury name with 75 years of American craftsmanship behind it that the pros still trust above everything else in its class. So here are 5 kitchen cabinet brands that have been scamming homeowners for years, ranked from overpriced to absolutely indefensible. Number 5, KitchenCraft Cabinets, the shrink-wrapped fraud that melts in your own kitchen. KitchenCraft has been riding on name recognition for years, banking on the idea that a brand with the word craft in its name must mean craftsmanship. Here's what the installers and kitchen designers actually know. The primary selling point for KitchenCraft has always been perceived value, and that word value is doing a lot of heavy lifting because in this case it means low price weighted far more heavily than high quality. The industry veterans see right through it. If there are upsides to KitchenCraft, it begins and ends with the price tag. But what comes with that price tag is where the real cost hides. The signature complaint from homeowners and pros alike centers on their Thermofoil wrap, a plastic shrink wrap applied to medium-density fiberboard cabinets. Customers report the Thermofoil separating from the cabinet surfaces. And here's the part that should make you furious. Thermofoil is easily unstuck by heat. Think about that. A product designed for kitchens where ovens run, stovetops blaze, and dishwashers pump steam, and they're wrapping it in a material that peels when it gets warm. The field results don't lie. Cabinet professionals have watched this failure pattern repeat across hundreds of installations. You get a cabinet that looks passable on day 1, and within a year or 2, the edges curl, the wrap lifts, and you're staring at raw MDF underneath a kitchen that was supposed to last a decade. Here's how to actually use this information. If you're shopping and you see Thermofoil construction, especially on MDF core boxes, walk away. Ask for plywood construction with real wood or painted finishes that don't rely on adhesive film to look presentable. KitchenCraft gets overlooked as a problem brand because the name sounds credible and the initial price feels like a win, but the cheapest cabinet you'll ever buy is the one you don't have to replace in 3 years. And if you've got a dishwasher or an oven in your kitchen right now, which is every single one of you, this failure is probably already ticking. Number 4, Aristokraft. The budget darling that even budget shoppers regret. Aristokraft has positioned itself as the go-to for fast remodels and starter homes, leaning hard on affordability as its headline feature, and on paper, it sounds reasonable. Low price, quick turnaround, available everywhere. But here's what the professionals who install and review cabinets for a living actually say. In brand reviews from industry professionals, Aristokraft performed poorly without exception. Not mixed reviews, not some love it, some don't. Poorly, without exception. And here's the part that really stings. It somehow manages to miss being considered a good value in spite of its low prices. Think about that for a second. A brand whose entire identity is built on being affordable, and the people who know cabinets best don't even consider it a good deal at the price it's asking. The brand also carries low trust ratings among industry pros, the kind of trust scores that tell you the problems aren't isolated incidents but systemic patterns baked into the product line. Every installer who's hung enough of these knows it. The construction quality, the hardware, the finish consistency, none of it holds up to even modest expectations once you get past the first few months of use. Here's how to actually use this information. If you're working with a tight budget and there's no shame in that, don't let a low sticker price be your deciding factor. Cost per year of use is the only math that matters. A cabinet that costs $6,000 and lasts 25 years is cheaper than one that costs $3,000 and needs replacing in 10. Aristokraft gets overlooked as a problem because the marketing presents it as the smart budget choice. Builders love recommending it because the margins are comfortable, but the people actually living with these cabinets tell a completely different story, and if you're remodeling a starter home right now, this is the trap that's probably sitting in your quote. If this saved you from making an expensive mistake, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 3. Thomasville at Home Depot. The borrowed name that cashes checks the product can't cover. Thomasville carries brand recognition that sounds like heirloom furniture, like solid wood and generational quality. And that's exactly what Home Depot is banking on when they put that name on a cabinet line sold through their stores. But the homeowners who've actually installed Thomasville cabinets through Home Depot have a very different story. Common complaints center on cabinets arriving damaged or defective and finishes that start failing almost immediately. One homeowner put it plainly, they had the cabinets just 2 months and the paint started cracking at the seams, bubbling at corners, and flaking off. 2 years later, it was whack-a-mole trying to keep up with immensely poor quality. That's not a one-off. The pattern across negative reviews is consistent. Poor quality materials, mismatched wood, and miscommunication throughout the ordering and delivery process. The pros who review cabinet lines see it clearly. Thomasville at Home Depot is not the same Thomasville your parents might remember. It's a licensed name on a product line that doesn't earn it. The numbers don't lie. Every pro who's pulled a Thomasville install apart knows the difference between a name with history and a name being rented to move volume. If you're starting to see the pattern, if you're realizing that the biggest names on the showroom floor are often the emptiest promises in your kitchen, do me a favor, hit that like button. It helps this reach people who are done getting burned by cabinet marketing, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you belong here. Here's how to actually use this information. If you're shopping at Home Depot and the Thomasville name catches your eye, stop. Ask to see a sample of the actual finish. Run your hand along the inside of the box, check for plywood versus particle board, and look up that specific product line's reviews, not the brand's historical reputation, because they're two completely different things. Thomasville gets overlooked as a problem because the name does all the selling. The legacy carries weight that the current product doesn't deserve, and if you're browsing cabinets at Home Depot right now, this is probably already on your short list. Number 2. Hampton Bay, the house brand trap that Home Depot built to protect its own margins. Hampton Bay is Home Depot's house brand, and if you've spent any time on their website, you've noticed something that should raise every alarm you have. 84 of Home Depot's 85 top-rated cabinets were all from either Hampton Bay or Pelham & White, another house brand. Think about that. 84 out of 85. That's not a quality ranking, that's a storefront designed to funnel you into the product that makes Home Depot the most money. And the actual performance of Hampton Bay? Reviews were even more negative than Thomasville's. Hampton Bay performed poorly in every source studied, damaged and defective products, finish problems, and issues that go even further, including generally poor overall quality, with drawer slides and door alignment getting called out repeatedly. The field results confirm it. Customers also cite the fact that replacement parts aren't readily available even for recent purchases. So you buy a cabinet, something breaks or arrives wrong, and you can't even get the part to fix it. You're stuck either living with the defect or ripping the whole thing out and starting over. Here's how to actually use this information. When you see top rated on any big box retailer's website, ask one question. Top rated by whom? If the answer is by the store that sells it, that rating is advertising, not evaluation. Look for third-party reviews, look for installer feedback, look for KCMA certification. Hampton Bay gets overlooked as a scam because it's right there in the store, it's convenient, the price looks reasonable, and the ratings look stellar. But those ratings are the store talking to itself. And if you've got a Home Depot trip planned this weekend, this is the brand that's going to be pushed hardest in your face. Number 1, the builder markup machine, the invisible scam that has been robbing homeowners for decades. This isn't one brand, this is an entire practice, and it's the most expensive scam on this list by a factor of 10. Builders and contractors typically purchase cabinets wholesale or through semi-custom lines. A kitchen package that costs them $15,000 to $25,000 gets resold to the homeowner for $50,000 to $80,000. That's a markup of 100 to 300%. On cabinets, the single biggest line item in your remodel, and someone just tripled the price because they know you don't know what cabinets actually cost. The pros who've been in this industry for decades know exactly how this works. Cabinetry is one of the easiest categories for builders to pad margins because, unlike plumbing or electrical, most homeowners don't know the baseline cost, and what makes it worse is what you're actually getting for that inflated price. These are semi-custom or ready-to-assemble lines dressed up as custom. They look decent on the surface but lack the craftsmanship, the finishes, and the materials of true custom cabinetry. Many home builders charge 3 or 4 times the value of cabinetry and countertop upgrades, pretending that the inflated charge is for material costs. The numbers don't lie. You're paying custom prices for mass-produced boxes with thin finishes designed to maximize builder profit, not homeowner satisfaction. Here's how to actually use this information. Before you accept any builder's cabinet quote, get an independent estimate from a cabinet showroom or dealer for the exact same product line. Ask your builder to name the specific brand and model. If they won't, that's your answer. If they do, price it yourself. The gap will make your stomach drop. This gets overlooked because homeowners trust their builder and assume the price reflects quality. It doesn't. It reflects margin, and if you're in the middle of a new build or a major remodel right now, this markup is probably already buried in your contract. If this made you reread your contract, saving you thousands of dollars, be sure to let us know in the comment section below this video. Now here's the other side of the story. 3 brands that are actually worth your money. Fabuwood. This brand has been quietly embarrassing more expensive competitors for years. Their Allure line uses plywood sides, tops, and bottoms with 0 particle board, single-piece half-inch plywood backs that resist racking under load, 5/8-inch solid birch drawers with interlocking dovetail joinery rated for over 100,000 cycles and more than 100 pounds, 2 to 3 times stronger than stapled boxes. The brand holds KCMA certification and carries an 85% satisfaction rate in dealer surveys. One homeowner reported getting a quote from Lowe's at around $30,000 and paying $12,000 for Fabuwood cabinets. The testing backs this up. For the price, the construction rivals brands costing 30 to 50% more. Showplace Cabinetry. Based in South Dakota, American-made, backed by a limited lifetime guarantee. Industry experts have said plainly that Showplace is the better cabinet when compared against similarly priced competitors. Wide variety of door styles, woods, stains, finishes, and storage solutions. This is the semi-custom sweet spot where you get real customization without paying custom prices. Wood Mode, 75 years of cabinet making, started as a small Pennsylvania lumber mill, grown into one of the premium custom manufacturers in the country. Traditional American craftsmanship paired with cutting-edge German technology. Every stage, from lumber selection and milling to finish and assembly, is handled by American craftsmen. Every pro knows it. This is the top of the mountain, and the pros who build high-end kitchens trust it above everything else in its class. Let us know in the comment section if there is a brand that should be on the avoid list, or a cabinet you are happy with that didn't make our recommendations. Also, be sure to like the video and subscribe. We share products to avoid and provide ones you should buy here on the channel. If you made it all the way to the end, you've just learned something most people never will. The cabinet industry has been banking on your ignorance, and that advantage just expired. Smash that like button if this changed how you think about kitchen cabinets. Drop a comment and tell me which one surprised you most. Team Builder Markup, Team Hampton Bay, Team Fabuwood. I read every comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. I'd love to have you on this journey with us. Remember, the best kitchen cabinets aren't always on the showroom floor of the biggest store. Sometimes they're in the hands of the craftsmen who've been building them right, just waiting for you to finally ask the right questions.